Name Volodymyr Zelenskyy. Date of birth January 25, 1978. Place of birth Kryvyi Rih, Ukraine. Father name Oleksandr Zelenskyy. Mother Namrama Jalanoskari. Did not name the Kiblocratic Party. Servant of the People of Education on Education Services. 2 presidents since June 7, 2019. Volodymyr Zelenskyy. Childhood and education. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy was born on the 25th of January 1978 during the then Soviet Union. His birthplace was Kryvyi Rih. The city then seceded from the Soviet Union in 1991 and became part of Ukraine. Volodymyr Zelenskyy's parents were Jewish. His father was a professor and mother an engineer. He spent his childhood in Erdenet, Mongolia. For this reason, his primary education was in Mongolia, because of which he mastered the Ukrainian and Russian languages. But at a young age, he returned to Ukraine and graduated from Kyiv National Economic University with a law degree in 1995. But he did not want to make a career in law after passing his law degree, because he was fond of comedy and theater from the beginning. That is why he was more attracted to her. After that he participated in performance group Quarter 95, KVN in 1997 and reached the finals. The acting life of Volodymyr Zelenskyy. In 2003, he founded a successful TV production company called Quarter 95 with his comedy team. The company produced the show for Ukraine's 1+1 network. The show was financed by controversial billionaire owner IHR Kolomoisky. It is claimed that the biography of Volodymyr Zelenskyy was financed by Ihor Kolomoisky. By 2010, Volodymyr Zelenskyy began to rank among the most successful actors in the history of Ukrainian television. He has starred in several superhit TV shows and films, notably Love in the Big City, 2009, and Zhevsky vs. Napoleon, 2012. Biography of Volodymyr Oleksandrovich Zelenskyy. Volodymyr Oleksandrovich Zelenskyy is a Ukrainian actor, screenwriter, comedian, serving as the president since May 6, 2019. He assumed office as president on May 20. Born January 25, 1978, age 44 years, this heroic president did not flee the country after the Russian invasion, fighting shoulder to shoulder with his soldiers to save Ukraine from Russia, or else he would be martyred in the war, one day in history. His patriotism and heroism will be written in golden letters. He fought with arms to protect democracy and country without bowing down. I respect him. I wish him to live until the victory of Ukraine at the end of the war. Look at him. He is 44 years old and has a beautiful family. He is currently the last real man in the world, the only one who did not run away from the Russian aggressor. Quote, "He could fill a plane with money and leave Ukraine. He didn't. He couldn't hide in a bunker. He couldn't. He could hand the country over to the Russians. He didn't. This man may be gone in 48 hours, but what he has done for the country no one has done since World War II. Since Zelenskyy was not a pro-Russian leader like Yanukovych, his conflict with Russia escalated. Was the comedy actor. But when he was the state of the state, he could not understand. In such a way that the description of the Russian army attacked the president of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelenskyy. He has faced a big challenge within 3 years in power. He said to the people of the country to stand against Russian aggression. It is known that Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelenskyy was born in the Jewish family. He was a student of law. But he had no interest in being a lawyer. Undergraduate in the law from Kiev National Economic University, Zelenskyy entered into the work of the acting in the reply of the law. Found himself as a trick actor. After that, a television show called Servant of the Pupil was popularized in the country through a television shower. Zelenskyy. In 2014, Russian President Viktor Yanukovych was ousted. After that, Zelenskyy started moving slowly towards the presidential position gradually. Without any experience, he stood in the presidential election. Zelenskyy and a Pakistani won. But since then, Zelenskyy's extreme dispute began with Russia. Since Zelenskyy was not a Russian leader like Yanukovych, his dispute with Russia was shouting. Finally, the war of Ukraine with Russia tied. After one of Russia, one blow was broken in Ukraine. The power is now waiting for President Zelenskyy, now waiting for time. The year 2014 proved to be crucial for all of Ukraine. That same year, the people of Ukraine revolted and ousted pro-Russian President Viktor Yanukovych. In response, Russia invaded Ukraine and annexed Crimea. Not only that, Russia has since started helping the rebels in Ukraine's Donbas region with arms and money. A year later, Volodymyr Zelenskyy's name became more famous by the people's political staff servant. In this satire, Zelenskyy played a man named Vasily Golborodko. In this show, he played the role of the president, which was well received throughout Ukraine. Below are some of the best films of Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelenskyy. Year films role 2009 Love in the Big City Eager 2011 Office Romance, Our Time Anatolia Frimovich Novoseltsev 2012 Love in the Big City Eager 2012 Zhevsky vs. Napoleon 2012 8 First Dates Nikita Sokolov 2014 Love in the Big City 3 Igor Zelenskyy 2015 8 First Dates. The political life of Volodymyr Zelenskyy 2014 proved to be a very good year for Volodymyr Zelenskyy. This year, the people of Ukraine began to revolt against pro-Russian President Viktor Yanukovych. In response, Russia launched an attack on Ukraine, due to which Russia succeeded in annexing Crimea. In this situation, the situation in Ukraine began to become serious. A year later, the people's political staff elected servant Volodymyr Zelenskyy for president. Zelenskyy decided to take a political step in 2019 after spending much time as president in real life. Zelenskyy challenged then-President Petro Poroshenko in the presidential election. He refrained from discussing serious issues during his presidential campaign and made headlines by posting light-hearted videos on social media as part of his campaign plan. In the presidential election held the same year, he defeated Petro Poroshenko with more than 70% of the vote and became the president of Ukraine.